There we go. Now we are live. Yeah, we're live finally. Okay, let's start.
I want to see if I want to see if YouTube captured that as the screen grab. All right, ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
I'll check right now. Welcome to episode 140. This episode of 2OC we talk about Disney dropping it like it's hot, hope for Grogu, and Anton and I take a vacation. I'm Al Flores.
And I'm Anton Duan. Do I sound okay?
All right, Ant.
Do I need to get closer to the mic? Can you hear me
maybe
from
a
here?
little bit, but
Or can you hear me from here? I probably
You're
sound a
editing,
lot better
so-
when I'm over here.
probably. But then all we can see is your ear on camera.
Yeah.
All right, Anton.
Hello. Hello.
All right, let's do a little house cleaning. So we usually take a couple weeks off for the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
because this is time for family, and also we don't want to record that much. So we'll be coming back. I don't know, the 10th
Okay. The 10th of January.
of January. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long.
I'm trying to think. I'm
That's
gonna
a
be
long
gone until-
vacation.
It is but it's because New Year lands on a Friday, and I'm gonna be out of town on the 3rd, so we can't record on the 3rd.
So where are you going?
I can't remember what it's called.
Arizona?
No,
Mexico?
Sylvain?
Oh.
No, that's racist. Sylvain? I don't know what it was. It's like a little Dutch town in Santa Monica. Or Santa Barbara? Or what it was.
Oh, Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah, that makes more
Santa
sense.
Barbara.
I was like, Santa Monica's like right there. That's not
Well,
really a
it's a city.
vacation. It's not really a vacation. It's down to, not
Yeah.
down the street, but like down the freeway.
Yeah, no, have you ever heard of Sylvain?
Mm-mm.
So if you Google it, there's gonna be like a pictures. It looks like a little piece of a northern European town. Like
Okay.
it's all like Dutch architecture, food. There's like winery there and stuff like that. So Martha and I doing a little New Year's getaway.
So it's kind of, I guess it's kind of in between like the beach
It's like a little bit north.
and then a
Yeah.
little bit more inland.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the start of like that forest area by Oxnard around there.
Mm-mm-mm. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. So is it like an
yeah, well, it's like
all-inclusive type of thing, or is it a package deal that you guys are doing, or?
No, we're just gonna do an Airbnb,
Mhm.
and then we're just gonna. Luckily, there's like an Airbnb like right in the center of like downtown.
Mm-hmm.
They usually do like outdoor markets and stuff like that. So we'll just kind of be a little adventuring, a little food tasting.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just for a
What are you
couple
gonna be
days, or how long are you guys doing that for?
Yeah, just for New Year's, just for a couple days.
That sounds
Yeah.
pretty
Any
cool.
plans for you?
It's just a kid. I wish we can plan something, but with the kid and with COVID, we can't really go anywhere. So
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I can do so much more. Let's say there's no COVID, I'll probably be taking my kid to like see Santa or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, this must be extra hard for you and Julie, because you guys are so used to even doing just like random like drives or trips.
Yeah, we try to look up on Eventbrite and just like see what's going on in the local area.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of drive-through stuff, but some of them got canceled. Like we had one this past weekend that we wanted to go to. That one had like a ballerina. They had like a pianist.
I'll do like a nutcracker thing.
Yeah, kind of like they're doing like outdoor where you just drive through this area and they have everything like set up with like artists and stuff like that. But yeah, and there was a Santa and stuff like that, like an elf workshop. But all that got canceled because it was raining and they didn't want their performers to get injured or anything like that. I mean,
Yeah,
they don't want to be
it's a
liable
hazard.
for it. Yep. So they canceled that. The funny thing is that day, there was no rain. It looked like it was going to rain, but there was no rain.
That's the part you had to deal with in Florida, is the weather changes so damn fast.
Yeah, it does.
I think when I went to Disney World one time, it was both super humid in the morning, rained hard, and then in the afternoon it was overcast but still hot.
Yeah, dude, it's so hard to predict here. Even the super Doppler, which predicts the weather that's in the area, it's not even accurate sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
just
never know.
it has. Yeah, the wind and everything changes it so
Hmm.
fast.
Yeah.
Um, so now that you mentioned the whole event stuff, uh, I was gonna go do a Pokemon raid by Westminster Mall,
Hmm.
and as I'm churning, I see like the crowd because do you remember the where Sears or not Sears? Maybe it was Sears Tire Center was.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, so now that's a COVID testing site.
Ooh.
Um, and I saw a line of cars. I was like, okay, line of cars. Wait, what's over here? And I'm driving by DSW. They're doing a freaking drive-in movie experience there. But the funny thing is, I had no idea this is happening. Like I saw no advertising for it,
Uh-huh.
nothing. You don't have to have like that giant billboard by the freeway that changes sign. Nothing advertised there from what I saw.
That's weird.
The two weeks prior to that, I guess they were doing like a drive-through food truck event or food event or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I saw them setting it up. I never saw it actually active. Um, it's so weird. Like they're trying so many things, but I think their advertising is crap. Like I live within a mile of the
And you
mall
never
and
really heard anything
never
about it.
never heard of it. Yeah,
Wow,
exactly.
that's crazy.
Yeah. All right, Anton. So speaking of the holidays, Christmas shopping.
Okay. Christmas shopping.
So so I sent you something. Well, sent you, Julie, and Elias something. Let me just pull it up right now. I got a bit annoyed because originally each one was going to be delivered 2 days apart from each other.
Huh.
But I think they combined two of them. So let me just double check. So Julie and Elias will be getting their gift tomorrow.
Okay.
Your gift arrives on Tuesday.
Okay.
You want to just reveal it since we're not going to really be recording?
Okay. Sure. No problem. Let's go ahead and reveal it.
All right. So for you, I got. Well, let's start with Elias. Elias, I got him the kids Mandalorian book.
Oh, nice. That's
It's
really
like for
cool.
all
Yeah.
ages. It was what's it called? Golden Crown or what was it called? That publishing company.
Yeah.
Uh,
Gold.
Little Golden Book.
Yeah.
Little Golden Book.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's one of those. For you,
For me.
I got the adult version of that,
Oh
which
no,
is
not the adult version. Well, I mean, is it rated R?
so uh, maybe I don't know. So it's another book, but this is called 40 Stories Celebrating 40 Years of Star Wars from a Certain Point of View. So
Ooh.
it's kind of like short stories being told from, I think this is supposed to be for A New Hope,
Hmm.
of different characters there, to each telling the story from their own point of view.
Hmm.
So I think this would be like a nice little like rich enrichment of the Star Wars universe for you.
I did hear something about that where they're trying to. It's kind of like getting a different perspective of a different character or from like you don't always see like the good guys, you don't see the bad guys type
Hmm.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing several series. I have that one.
Hmm.
So Star Wars from a certain point of view, and I think that's supposed to be like A New Hope.
Hmm.
They also do Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view,
Hmm.
which I think the last episode of The Mandalorian touches on that.
Hmm.
It's a certain way. So yeah, hopefully when you get it, let me know what you think about it. Kind of curious.
Hmm.
I've had it on my shopping list for a couple weeks now,
Hmm.
and then as I was trying to think of what to get you, I was like, well, why not?
So, what did you get for Julie?
Oh, for Julie, I just got her some comfy slippers. I
Hmm.
figured as a mom, she needs something comfortable and something she could put on really quickly.
Dude, that's
Just this.
exactly what she wants. She's been talking about it too. She's like, "Oh yeah, like 2 Christmases ago, I got this slippers from her cousin Joanne, and then um, she's a Twitch streamer, by the way, Princess Joanne. You should check it out. She plays a lot of Apex and a couple other
Oh,
games
hardcore.
too. Yeah, hardcore.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. So Joanne got Julie some slippers that were really comfortable,
Mm.
It looks like a bunny, pink bunny, and
Okay.
yeah, she's been wearing it around the house ever since. So yeah, I
So
think she kind of wants a new one. So
so the ones I sent her are not a bunny, but they are fuzzy. So hopefully she
cool,
likes them.
she's gonna love them. Okay, so what I got you, I thought it was gonna come out in December, but it turns out it comes out the first week of January. It is a Star Wars book. I don't know if you
Wait,
pre-ordered it or anything. You can tell me if you
I
know.
have not.
Okay, but you know what it is, right?
No, I'm just saying because I haven't pre-ordered any Star Wars books. So
Okay, cool. It is the High Republic. We talked about
oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The funny thing is, there's oh crap, what was it? I think I saw some post on Instagram like the art from the High Republic or whatever.
Yeah, it's that same artwork for the
Uh-huh.
cover. It's a hard cover book, and it takes place during the time of, I think we talked about on the show, like 200 years before
Yeah,
the Republic that we know, the people that are on Coruscant.
right.
Yeah,
The high point of the Jedi Order, right?
yeah. It was a high point of the Jedi Order. They're spanning across the galaxy. There's so many of them on different missions, protecting
Mhm.
different things in the galaxy. So it's kind of exciting to see like really rich Jedi stuff, because we've been kind of out of the loop with all of these movies and TV shows that we've been seeing, and
Mhm.
we haven't really got a glimpse of a taste of what's out there with
Yeah.
all these Jedi's doing their own missions and everything. Because I mean, during the Clone Wars, we get to see a couple of series that really dive deep into missions that they go on, but
Yeah.
it's kind of very vague.
What?
Hmm.
Well, not just that, but I think it was in oh crap, what was it? Um, oh my God, the one with Ezra, Rebels.
Oh, Rebels, yeah.
Uh, yeah, even in Rebels, when Yoda makes a cameo, he makes a note that uh that war consumed the Jedi. The Jedi that were supposed to be so passive
Hmm.
and protectors of people and the light side of the Force were were soldiers. They were generals.
Yeah.
Like that's not what the Jedi Order was intended to be, and that's what they became during the Clone War era.
Hmm.
And that's the first time we saw them was really right before the Clone Wars started and during the Clone Wars. And then after that they fell.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, a lot of the Jedi's were kind of spread across the galaxy and, reporting back to Coruscant and, people in the Jedi Temple. And the
Hmm.
thing is, in the more recent series, all the Jedi's have to, like, bunch up together trying to fight the war.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's kind of interesting to go back and see how everything was, and there
What the
was,
Jedi Order was intended
yeah,
to
there was
do.
an order. Everything was,
Yeah.
at peace. I guess it was the best of times during that time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see what's going to happen in that time with this book coming out. So I think it's going to be January 5th. So expect your book to come around that time.
Nice.
Hmm.
So that's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I really hope they touch on the Guardians a little bit
Hmm.
because that's something that we've gotten teased about. We really just saw them in a couple episodes in Rebels.
Hmm.
Never really touched on again, at least not maybe in books, but I haven't read about them in books. And then the last piece of Guardians memorabilia that we saw was in uh, the oh my God, what's it called? Was it Rise of Skywalker? What was the last Star Wars movie? I
Rise of
can't remember the title.
Skywalker.
Rise, yeah. With Rey and her golden lightsaber, which
Hmm.
only the Guardians have the yellow lightsabers.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited, dude. Thank you.
You're
That
welcome.
will be read, and I'm the funny thing is my goal is to finish The Witcher, the Last Wish.
Hmm.
What was it called? Yeah, yeah, The Last Wish, by the end of the year. I'm like halfway through it now. Now that I finished my other book, Ready Player Two. I want to go back to The Witcher.
Yeah. So how do you like The Witcher so far? Because I know you
S-
on your
So I
first.
really,
Or
so I really
okay,
think
go ahead. Sorry.
that's sorry. So I really think you need to read it.
Mm-hmm.
At least The Last Wish,
Mm-hmm.
um, because it is pretty much um Disney. Well, I guess the Grimm's fairy tales are pretty much Disney fairy tales too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's like an alternate version of Disney stories told in the fantasy world with The Witcher. Because right now, the because it's a combination of short adventures.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long like it's an overall arching story, but each chapter is its own little adventure. And the one I'm on right now, uh, it's pretty much Snow White, but she tries to get killed for to somebody take her the throne. The huntsman that or the witch is replaced by a huntsman that tries to rape her, and she's raised by dwarves, not dwarves. She's raised by oh, crap, not it wasn't dwarves, but it was something similar. I'm like, okay, that's a dwarf. Uh, uh, no, maybe no, I don't know what it was. And also she becomes a badass assassin,
Mm-hmm.
but it's Snow White. So I'm curious to see if you read it. I think as a Disney fan, you might enjoy some of these tales and try to make a connection of what story this was stolen from, or what what lore it was used from.
Inspired from.
Inspired. Thank you. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, even watching the show, like I kind of see the resemblance with some of the things that we know, that we're familiar with, and
Hmm.
yeah, that's very interesting that you bring that up. I'm probably gonna have to read that one. Is that the first book? That's the first one, right?
Yeah. So in
Mm-hmm.
the American version, this is like the fifth one, but in the way it was published, this is the
Mm-hmm.
first one.
Okay. Is it better to read it in which order?
So I'm trying to go the way they were published. So this will be the first book, The Witcher, the
Mm-hmm.
Last Wish.
Is
Um,
it in chronological order by any chance? Because of the way
that
that it's published?
well, this one is a kind of a the more I read up about it, the more I start to see what makes sense. This one is kind of what Charles Dickens used to do, which is submit short chapters and short stories,
Mm-hmm.
and this is kind of a compilation of the stories he submitted,
Mm.
uh, and that ultimately became the fantasy series. So I think after this one, the other ones go in chronological order.
Oh, so basically it's like short stories trying to
Sure.
give you a taste of
Introduce you
what
to
the
The Witcher.
whole. Yeah, that's cool. That's real
Hmm.
cool. Okay,
Yeah, I
makes
know.
sense.
I was kind of nervous about that too because I'm like, I'm not really used to fantasy
Mm-hmm.
novels. I kind of get lost in the names, but this one just reads like a western,
Mm-hmm.
a western with weird names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll probably have to
Yeah,
check it out.
cool. All right, Anton. And you had some guests over this past week. That's why we had to record this 2 days late.
Yeah, 2 days late. We had Julie's family come over. Family. Their last name is Family. Um, yeah, so we had her sister and her two cousins come over, and dude, they hung out with him the whole entire week. I think he had such a great time. Um, but there was, I leave them with, I leave Elias with three of them for a couple minutes. I come back.
Right.
I see him learning how to twerk and do all those crazy stuff,
Oh,
and I'm like, whoa, 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 what are you guys teaching him? So yeah,
what are you doing, my son?
yeah. So yeah, he had a good time. Let's just say that.
That's good.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see them leave because like he was growing fond of them, and
Yeah.
I think a day after he started to have like you, you know when you have like or when you see someone with a withdrawal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was
He,
kind
he
of
was
going
he was
through that.
sad sacking it.
Hmm. And especially during this 7th month, like he is incorporating a lot of things in his mind. So his mind is like
Yeah.
growing so much that it's starting to challenge him. So it's really hard for him to sleep at night.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's because of them leaving that he's not sleeping for the past couple nights. Like it takes a
Well,
long time to put him to sleep.
it's a break in his routine too. That's
Mhm.
something kids like they need a lot. It's just regular routine.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, it sucks that they had to leave, but the good thing is they did get to visit and kind of, in this world where everything's kind of locked down, it's good for him to socialize a little bit with people
Mhm.
outside of you and your wife.
Yeah, dude. Every morning he wakes up, he knows that he's gonna have someone to play with. Especially, during the weekday, I go to work. I know that he has someone to play with.
That's true.
But it's kind of cool, like to see him interact with family members, to see how close he would get. Um, I mean, we had Julie's sister Mimi and her fiance come over, but during that time he was still comprehending everything. So I mean, 2 months later, which is now, like, he's starting to talk a little bit more, and he's starting to understand things, and he's able to walk around in his walker now. So he's able to start to explore on his own. So it's kind of cool to see
Hmm.
him do that with him. Uh, yeah, I think that's the thing that sucks about living on the East Coast and being away from close family, is that you start to appreciate a lot of these visits more. So
Yeah.
yeah, but anyways, all that aside, we had a good time. We played a lot of board games. I think our favorite board game to play together during this visit is Sushi Go Party. Uh, it's a really fun game, dude. I don't know if you ever played Sushi Go before.
No, I've seen the box at Target, but I've never actually
Yeah.
played it.
So Sushi Go is just a regular game, but then this is a Sushi Go Party. So there's a bunch of
Hmm.
different variations on this version. So basically, what you do is you try to make these combinations of different types of sushi dishes. So
Hmm.
let's say you get like a bunch of cards. So you basically pick the cards that you want to match, because there's different ways to match. You can make three of a kind. You can make like a series of cards, like one, two, three, or something like that, and
Right.
basically see if you can get certain combinations to get like the end result. And for
Hmm.
the end result, you get points. So it's kind of cool to see how everybody has their own like strategy. My
Yeah.
strategy was try to get as many doubles as possible. Someone else was like
Uh,
trying to screw other people over by getting like playing a card that is the same as another card. So if that person
yeah.
plays that same card, then you don't get any points that round at all. So it's kind of cool to see, like, different strategies being played in this game. So Sushi Go Party, something I recommend for the holidays if you do play it.
So you just reminded me of my favorite quote from American Dad,
Hmm.
which is, "There are three types of people in the world: winners, losers, and spoilers." And that person that just tries to screw people, I'm like, that's a spoiler. That
Yeah.
is a person that likes to spoil people's lives.
Uh-huh.
Uh, that's cool, dude. Yeah, I've seen it, and I've never really looked into how to play it. I don't know. It looked like a nice different game.
Yeah, so I had this game for probably like 2 3 years now, and it's just sitting there on a shelf. I haven't even played it once because I don't have enough people to play. I think you
Yeah,
need at least three people to play.
yeah,
Hmm.
some variety in there.
Hmm.
All right.
Well, now
Uh,
we have a third person, so hopefully in a couple of years.
that was one of the things I was looking at, was to
Hmm.
try to help build your guys' board game collection to be
Hmm.
more Elias friendly.
Yeah,
Uh, but he's still at least 2 3 years away
yeah.
from doing
We
that.
don't have shoots and ladders yet. We don't have what is that
Oh
other
no,
game?
I am reserving the right to buy you guys Castle Panic Junior.
Oh, I've seen that.
It,
Yeah.
it, yeah, like that. I called dibs on that one for you guys.
Okay.
All right, and the last thing I was going to talk about the flu, not COVID, but the flu. So I was reading this article, and the thing we've been hearing about since springtime was the fear of a double pandemic, or a
Hmm.
double epidemic coming up
Mm-hmm.
with COVID and the flu. But here's the funny thing: we're actually not expecting a big flu season this year. Do you know
Yeah,
why?
because a lot of people are staying home.
They're staying home, and the mask we're wearing to prevent COVID also prevents other viruses like the flu.
Yeah, I noticed that, dude. It's crazy because like I mean I get like a couple of like um tickles on the throat,
Yeah.
but then after a cough drop, it's gone.
Those always worry me. I'm like, oh crap, is this
Yeah,
just a passing thing, or is this
yeah,
a sign? Is this a start?
yeah.
Uh,
There was a couple of times this week where I was like, man, like I need a cough, and you know like I'm just at home too. It's so weird, and Jules was like, oh oh, and then I just pop a cough drop and it's gone. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I'm seeing the numbers, and it's crazy. And to clarify, these are research group within the CDC that specifically tracking the flu.
Hmm.
So anybody that comes into the doctor's office with flu-like symptoms, they'll test them specifically for the flu as well, not just COVID, to try to get data. And out of all the people they tested, they only got a few dozen people with the flu. And to put in perspective, it's 91% down than what it was last year.
Wow.
91%, dude. And as a relief as that is, it also makes me realize, dude, COVID could have been so much worse.
I think it could
Like
have been so much worse. Yeah.
if the flu, which is controlled by, an existing vaccine, and besides that, people don't really take a lot of care with the flu. If that got reduced by 91%, imagine how bad COVID could have been, which is something we're actively trying to suppress and is currently flooding our emergency rooms.
I heard in California the ICU is at 0% right now for beds.
The majority, yeah.
Hmm.
I think there's some hospitals that might still have some, but very, very little. I think like maybe 10, anywhere from 0 to 15% is what I'm hearing.
Hmm.
Capacity remaining,
That's
which
crazy.
is scary. Yeah, and it's also annoying though, because people are like, "Oh, what's the big deal? We still have hospital beds." I'm like, "Yeah, but the thing is, hospitals also treat other things besides COVID. So
Yeah.
those hospital beds are not reserved for COVID patients, and right now the mortality rate is fairly low compared to the average around the world,
Hmm.
but it's when the hospitals can't treat people that people start dying. So it's creepy, dude. I think the headline I was reading going into last weekend was California governor orders thousands of body bags anticipating this winter.
That's crazy.
For reals.
Ay, ay, ay. Yep. It just I, Fauci said that everything won't go back to normal probably by next fall, middle of next fall, and that's if almost everybody, 80% of the people get vaccines.
Yeah, he kind of pushed it back, and I think that's because you're seeing the response from people that don't want to get it, and also the manufacturing speed.
Hmm.
Uh, I was hearing, or I think initially he was saying late to early summer we'll start to get back to normal. But again, that's also just that little by little restrictions will get lifted. We'll still have some, but little by little we'll get more back to normal. It won't be a light switch we just flick off one day.
Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But
Yeah.
hopefully, more vaccines will head our way. There was something that Dolly Parton said recently. I think it was today. She said, how come she spent all her money to get these vaccines for people, and instead of going to the frontline people only,
Uh-huh.
it's going to politicians, ugly
See, oh,
politicians.
God. See, that's the double-edged sword right there too.
Hmm.
It's and I mentioned this to Martha. Um, the the people that are complaining about the vaccine are saying it's not safe. That's why they're giving it to us first. We're the guinea pigs. The rich will wait and whatever. But the other side of that is, if politicians, which some did, We mentioned, I think, last episode or previous episode where former presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton volunteered to take the vaccine publicly
Mm-hmm.
to show that also, it's to show they're not concerned with the vaccine, they're willing to do it. But then people will say, oh, so I see the rich and powerful get to skip to the line and go to the front of the line there. There's no pleasing people. Okay, stimulus package. All right. So up until this morning, it was pretty much a guarantee that everybody was going to get $600 by next week for the new stimulus bill. All I heard over the weekend was people complaining that $600 is nothing. It won't even make a dent compared to all the debt people have racked up from the past couple of months. And also, it's not even half of some people's rents.
It's true.
Trump announced he is not going to sign it, that he wants at least $2,000 per person. And all the comments I'm seeing are, of course Trump stopped the bill. He just wants to screw people over. There's no, like, he just doesn't want to give people the $600. People need that money. I'm like, oh my God. Like, there is no pleasing
Everyone always has something to say. It doesn't
exactly.
matter what it is.
There's no win. There's no winning. There's no winning. People always have their side. No matter what somebody does, they'll just take the side. It's annoying. I hate people. The pandemic has proven that to me.
All right, dude. Enough of week updates. Let's go ahead and get into the headline news.
The fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 weeks ago, Disney dropped a lot of bombs during their, was it the shareholder meeting? No, not shareholder meeting. Shareholder meeting?
Yeah, shareholder meeting.
And typically these announcements are reserved for Comic-Con, D23, stuff like that. But because of 2020, the bitch that it is, they snuck this in their own little presentation and made their own little Comic-Con. And holy crap, the hits kept on coming.
Yeah, the stocks went straight up during this this after hours, and I think they went up like $20. And yeah, it made a pretty big dent.
It's crazy, yeah. So the poster showing that's one we showed on our social media. It actually got updated more. I think we were seeing about 52 total announcements. I'm seeing some that are saying 60 announcements, but at least 10 new Marvel series, 10 new Star Wars series, and 15 live action, Disney live action, Disney animation, and Pixar features.
Yeah. So out of all these, which one are you the most excited for? Let's go with that.
I'll go. Well, out of Star Wars, I would say. Ooh, this is tough. So I gotta subcategorize it. Star Wars, I'm gonna go with Bad Batch for animation, and Ahsoka for live action.
Okay, so we got Ahsoka.
Yes.
And then we got Bad Batch, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why are you excited for Bad Batch, and why are you excited for Ahsoka?
So the Bad Batch was something that was introduced in the Clone Wars the last season, but we didn't really get to explore them. They seem like a really badass group of clones that had their own little defects, quote unquote, that made them special, and that's what made them such a strong group. And they were one of the most successful squadrons in the Clone Wars. But they're really talked about. They're kind of like the ragtag group of heroes. Yeah. But really, we just saw them for what, 2-3 episodes?
Yeah. They kind of remind me of those old war movies where like
like Saving Private Ryan. They just gather random people.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, and it's kind of like Inglourious Bastards, and
yes, there we go. That's even better.
Yeah. So that's why I like it.
Yeah, it's Inglourious Bastards meets. No, never mind. I lost it. But it's a good story. I think there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of missions we can follow them in. I actually never looked it up. I want to see if it's the same voice actor that voiced all the other clones, or if they got new voice actors for those. Because
Probably
some of them
this
are very distinct.
probably the same same voice actor, but then just like he probably makes a different accent for each one of them.
God, he's making so much money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can imagine being casted. All right, cool. So I'm playing this trooper and this trooper. Oh, I'm put. Yeah, you're playing all of these hundreds of thousands of clone troopers for this season, this series. Okay.
It's funny like the first season they're like, "Oh yeah, you just need to do like one voice for like thousands and thousands of these
But they
troopers."
then they then they
Yeah.
introduce Rex, then they introduce Fives. Each one has a slightly different way of speaking to
Hmm.
identify them as when they're wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
And then they introduce this one. There's a
Yeah.
nerdy one, so you need a little bit nasally, and there's this big brute, so you kind of want to deepen your voice a bit.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, the Bad Batch, that one's gonna be something fun to look forward to, especially
Hmm.
since I finished Rebels,
Yeah.
and I think that was like the last animation one.
Hmm.
Um, and then I mentioned Ahsoka
Hmm.
because that one is it came from Clone Wars, went through Rebels, and it just recently got introduced in the Mandalorian.
Yeah. So tell me this, because you watch Clone Wars and then you watch Rebels, I think especially because there was that big gap where I didn't know that they were gonna end the whole entire series for Clone Wars because they left it off, you know. And
Yeah,
then I just watched, all of Rebels, and then after I finished Rebels is when they announced, "Oh, hey, we're gonna have Ahsoka come back and finish the season or the
yeah,
series." I was like, "Oh man, it totally hits heart when you actually
yeah.
watch the last part of the series of the Clone Wars, because like I guess at the very beginning of the Clone Wars series, you don't really
Hmm.
care much for Ahsoka because like she was new, and
No, it felt like a money grab. It felt like they were just trying to make a younger character in the Star Wars universe for kids who
Mhm,
like this was a show on Disney Channel to latch onto and to think it's cool. Like, oh, cool, this is the kid in the Star Wars universe. I could be that kid,
mhm.
and also
Yeah.
toys.
That's true, but then like as time progresses and you start to understand what these characters are doing and where the story's going, and for me, I think Ahsoka is probably my favorite Jedi of all Jedis.
She's not a Jedi. She's a
She's
she's a
not.
Force wielder. She's not
She's a
a
force
Jedi.
wielder, but yeah, she's my favorite force wielder, Jedi or not. um, yeah, so that's really cool. So my favorite out of all the announcements is the actual headliner, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, this one's kind of had a bit of a back and forth in the last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, but I think they're in the middle of filming it right now.
They are.
And it's kind of exciting to hear that the technology that they've been doing for the Mandalorian, they're using it for this as well, and then also Ahsoka. They have 3 studios, I think, that they built for
Yeah.
that technology. So they have one in LA. They have one. Is it LA or is it Atlanta? One of those two. But they also have one in London at Pinewood Studios, and I think
Oh,
they
that's
also
true.
have one in Australia too. So it's kind of cool to have those technology being available, because I think the scale ability for movies and TV shows from here on out can be so huge, because
It's
Mando looks insane. Um,
well,
yeah,
not just the concept, but the we've talked about the giant LED screen that
yeah,
they use just for
hmm
lighting,
hmm crazy,
background and
crazy.
lighting,
Yeah,
and also just the how to say production quality.
hmm
Like it does not feel like a TV show. This is something like if you feel almost like they just made a movie and broke it up into episodes.
yeah.
I
Dude,
don't feel
you know, it
cheated
would
at
be
all about it.
crazy if you can have a moving platform and have AR, probably wear AR glasses, and you could
Uh-huh.
see like, virtual stuff that's being available in front of you, and you could
Mm.
walk around. You could do like quests and stuff, like real
Mm.
quests. That would be
Yeah.
freaking insane. Like, you know how we experienced the void, but like
Yeah.
imagine everything like in real life. That would just be so crazy insane.
Just,
But I
just
don't
kind of.
know. It's gonna be a while to that.
Yeah, Kenobi. Also, my understanding is that Kenobi is going to be a miniseries because I think it's like a four episode series so far.
Yeah, and plus they're bringing back Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader,
Yeah,
so that's kind of exciting.
that's going to be a lot to live up to for him because he can always hide behind. He's not Darth Vader. He's Anakin,
Yeah,
and now he has to fill those shoes. Without, I mean, what is it going to be without his helmet? Because when we left off in um the Revenge of the Sith, he was full on Darth Vader.
mm-hmm.
So there's no, I don't know. Is it just because they can't bring in what's his name? I'll say Edward James Olmos. Oh my God, I'm forgetting freaking Mufasa's name.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. James
Yeah.
Earl Jones. Yeah. Like it's a weird mix, dude. There's no. I don't think Hayden Christensen can do the Darth Vader voice, and
He already did. No.
no. Unless Hayden Christensen's coming back as kind of like a zombie
I
Anakin
think I think
in
you
a
know, with the
fantasy.
mask off. I mean, we got a couple scenes before. We got a scene in Rebels where he had like half the mask came
Image.
off, and he had that
Yeah,
Anakin voice. So I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised, him without the the mask again. Um, yeah,
yeah. But
maybe
he
it's a
needs the mask
flashback.
to live, though.
Maybe it's a
Yeah,
flashback. Who knows?
that's what I'm thinking, or maybe like a nightmare.
Yeah,
Like, Obi-Wan
or
has a
force
nightmare.
vision, or
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
force touch.
Just touching him.
Yeah, just like
No,
Ray, just like
our
Ray,
audio
and
our audio listeners will never know how inappropriate that was. Uh,
I
two
mean,
fingers.
Ray, and what's his
Yeah,
name?
they had four sex, which
Yeah.
also sounds terrible.
Yeah. All
They
right,
were
all right, all right, all right. So
sexy.
besides Obi-Wan, okay, I'm
Uh-huh.
excited for Andor, Cassian
Ooh,
Andor from Rogue One. I'm super excited about this series because this one is all about espionage. They even brought the guy who did Born Identity series to come onto this project to direct the whole entire series. So it's kind of exciting to see something like that because, espionage in Star Wars, it's so
yeah.
fun. Like, I mean,
That but
watching Rogue
that's one
One
of the
is like mind blown.
well that was one of the big turning points for the Star Wars universe was when Rogue One, a Star Wars story, came out, and guess what? It wasn't a regular Star Wars movie. It was a heist movie that happened to take place in the Star Wars universe,
Mm-hmm.
similar to what Marvel's been doing with its movies. Yeah, it's superhero movies, but it's superhero movies in a different genre.
Mm-hmm.
With this one, yeah, like we got to see a bit of espionage in Rogue One early on when Cassian Andor was, trying to gather the information, gather the data. He had his
Mm-hmm.
connections, but then after that, we moved over to the heist movie and the war part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Remember
this is
how,
that
how
was
dark it was at the very beginning of the movie where
oh
he had to do things that aren't
sacrifice the guy.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he
Crazy.
betrayed somebody we assume was his friend, but we really didn't know who the hell that guy was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andor's gonna be interesting. One that I'm curious about is Star Wars Visions. This is supposed to be an animated short films, celebrating the Star Wars galaxy through the lens of the world's best Japanese anime creators.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because, like, I don't know if you've seen any of the intros that a lot of fans have made online. There was a specific one that looks so cool as an anime. Like, you get the anime intro music, And you've seen a lot of animes. They usually have some pretty sick intros that you can't skip. Like, you know how
Yeah.
usually like on Netflix when you watch a show or something, you hit the skip button because intro kind of sucks.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing for anime. You stick around and you watch and enjoy the intro because it's so intricate.
Yeah, nothing like an anime trying to do like a rock cover of a song of their intro because they think that's what Americans like. It's rock.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Have you seen this anime style intro that I was talking about?
no, I haven't.
Yeah, you got to check
Uh,
it out.
but but when I heard about Visions, my first thought was Matrix, Animatrix.
Mhm.
Nothing like it's stories within the Matrix universe, but each one with its own animation style.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for audio listeners, I am not recording from my regular office. I am recording in my living room because the family has been playing Beat Sabers. Have you played Beat Sabers before or heard about it?
No, but I heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I just got a news alert. Chinese producer on Netflix's Three Body Problem, poisoned in alleged murder plot.
Whoa.
Yeah, I need to read more about it, and the text and the headline is screwed up. I think it's
Okay.
a coding issue.
So I'm guessing it's gonna be
Uh,
on our feed tonight,
yeah,
Instagram feed.
yeah,
Cool.
exactly. Check out the 2OC on Instagram and Facebook, Facebook and Twitter.
All right.
You're saying Beat Sabers?
Yeah, Beat Sabers. So that's what they've been playing all week. If they're not taking care of my son, they're on VR playing Beat Sabers. So yeah, I have the whole contraption set up here, and yeah, that's why I'm recording down here because the computer's down here, and that's why I'm
Okay.
looking up at the screen and not looking at the camera. I'm trying to look at you, and it's very
It's
hard to look at.
it's fine. It's fine. Screw the YouTube viewers. It's all about the audio listeners.
Yeah.
Uh, and for podcast listeners, you can go to YouTube, the 2OC, and subscribe to us, and you'll get notification when we start recording live. And then a couple days later, you'll get the audio, cleaned up audio version later on.
Mhm.
So there's two other ones that I'm excited about too. Rogue Squadron.
Mhm. So you've been
Speaking of
playing.
Rogue One.
Yep, you've been playing like some type of squadron game right now.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll
Mhm.
get into it, but that's
Mhm.
that's kind of this announcement is kind of what made me want to get more into the Star Wars video games because I never really played them before. Besides like a few, a couple minutes or an hour or two of Star Wars Legos.
That I don't think
I
those count.
never. No, they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
They're just time burners. But no, I just never really got into the Star Wars games, and
Dude,
I figured
you gotta play Jedi Fallen Order. It
I
is
almost I
so
almost
good.
I
It
almost
is
did.
so
And you know what
freaking good. Okay,
you
sorry.
know what the tiebreaker was?
What?
Star Wars Squadrons was on sale.
Uh, this is
Fallen
on
Order
sale right
wasn't.
now too. It's
It
$30.
is on sale. Yes, it is on
Yeah,
sale now. That's what
yeah.
pissed me off. Literally like the week after I bought it, both of them went on sale more. I think Star Wars Squadrons was uh $4 cheaper the following week or something like that. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, and okay, so Rogue Squadrons, that's supposed to take place alongside the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
And also same thing with Rangers of the New Republic. So the Rangers of the New Republic is kind of what's been teased during the Mandalorian, with Gina Carano's character being recruited by the Republic to, police the galaxy, get rid of the villainy and scum.
I'm kind of curious. Okay, so we know that Gina Carano is going to be in the star of Rangers of the New Republic, but I'm kind of curious. Rogue Squadron, is that going to be Paul, the Asian guy that was trying to recruit?
James Convenience.
Yeah. Paul from Kim's Convenience. I'm kind of curious if he's going to be in Rogue Squadron because
I'm
like
wondering.
yeah, because he's
'Cause-
like it seems like he's kind of like pushing his character to be in the forefront on this series. I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised to see him again because I love to see
Well,
him again.
well, well, that would explain why his character was such a passive thing. Like
Hmm.
he kept popping up in 2 episodes,
Hmm.
but never really fleshed out his
Three
character. Really, no,
episodes. I think
three
it was
episodes.
three
So
episodes. Yeah.
the ice one where he crashed, the dragon. What was the other one?
Was it?
It was after they raided the
Oh yeah, that's
base
right. It was
with
all in one
with Apollo
episode.
Creed.
Yeah, it was all in one episode. Sorry. Yeah.
And then the first one was when Mando crashed on the ice planet with the frog lady.
Hmm.
Yeah, but both of those times, like, it seems like they want, like, they didn't really tell us much about the character, but the fact that this is a pretty established actor, not really like a random one. Usually for these type of roles, they would use like you know, a, a cameo character or somebody like in the production, like little pop up. But for him, like, hey, they actually got a legit actor playing this bit part that didn't really flesh out. And then when this
Hmm.
got announced, we're like, okay, that's why they were teasing him for this show.
Hmm. It's crazy because I don't know if you know anything about how he got casted into that role. He's a huge Star Wars fan. You can, if you can, when you have a chance, you should check it out. They interviewed him on how he got the part, and he showed his Star Wars collection. It is insane how much of a fan he is. Every year he cosplays as somebody in the Star Wars
Uh-huh.
universe. And when they asked him, they're like, "Hey, you want to meet Dave Filoni and talk about some stuff?" He's like, "Hell yeah, of course."
Okay.
Yeah.
And for people, because I think every time we talk about Star Wars, we always mention Dave Filoni. For the people that don't know who Dave Filoni is, or might have seen his name, if you've ever seen a production video or interview, and there's just this random short guy in a cowboy hat somewhere in the background, that's Dave.
Yeah.
And I think in the chef show he explained why he's wearing the cowboy hat. Do you remember?
No, it refreshed me.
When he got hired to write for Star Wars and he went to Skywalker Ranch, his thought was, well, people wear cowboy hats at a ranch. I'll get a cowboy hat. That was
Really? I didn't know that.
Skywalker
Yeah,
Ranch.
that's funny.
That was his logic.
Uh-huh.
Well, people wear cowboy hats on a ranch, so I bought a cowboy hat.
That's the best attitude yet. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just find it's just become a signature now.
Yeah.
All
Wait,
right,
I think John asked him that question, right?
yeah,
Hey, well,
yeah,
what do you?
yeah. What's with the cowboy hat? What's Skywalker Ranch?
Yeah, that's so funny.
It's a ranch. All right, so enough Star Wars news. Let's move on to the Marvel announcements. There's no shortage there.
Okay.
Any of these that caught your attention? I'll go through them really fast and we'll highlight some of them.
Okay.
So there is Captain Marvel 2, Ironheart,
Mhm.
Hawkeye, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, Fantastic Four, Armor Wars, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, I Am Groot, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I am excited about. I am super excited about She-Hulk.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah.
Orphan Black being casted as the titular character.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Tatiana Maslany. I wish
Mhm.
she has more roles. There was a very serious movie that she was in, but it didn't really get that much of a light to it. But I'm excited to see her in a mainstream franchise because she deserves it. Orphan Black,
Mhm.
so many different characters that she was playing, and
Yeah.
very talented. So I'm excited to
Yeah,
see this because I think John Favreau just recently confirmed that this is going to be a comedy. So
yeah, which
yeah.
and also part of the news too was that the actual Hulk is gonna be making some cameos.
Hmm.
Uh, Mark oh my god, what's his name?
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. I'm like Mark Rudolph. Mark Ruffalo is going to make appearances, so I'm sure it's mainly going to be to play the origin story. I don't know if he's going to be a regular character,
Hmm.
but he is going to be part of the show at some points.
Uh, okay, so I'm vaguely remembering that they announced the Abominable.
Oh yeah. What's his name is coming back from the Abomination.
Yeah, Abomination. Uh, keep forgetting his
Yeah,
name. He's one of my favorite actors too.
yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to pull up his name right now. Which is going to be interesting because Tim Roth. Tim Roth.
mhm.
Because he's already up there in age. So for him to reprise his role from what was that, 2008,
Mhm.
2007?
Yeah.
That is a long time coming.
Wait, so is he gonna be in this, or is he gonna be in a different different movie or show? I
No,
remember
it's
he
this
was
one.
announced, but I forgot which one, which
It's this one
franchise.
because
This one.
they announced it with Mark Ruffalo.
Okay. All right.
The Mark
Yeah, kind
Ruffalo
of
and
excited to see that because I love Tim Roth. He had that really good show called Lie to Me, and they canceled it. Love that show.
oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm excited about this one. It's gonna be nice to see, similar to what Netflix did for the Defenders.
Hmm.
I can't wait to see what Disney does with these type of series that, a mixture of comedy, uh, like we mentioned with Star Wars, different genres that just happen to take place in a superhero universe.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking Ally McBeal.
So, what else are
That
you
seems,
excited for?
and actually I just lost my notes right now. Well, Fantastic Four, I'm curious about because we've seen Fox try twice and fail. Uh, so I'm kind of curious to see what Disney/Marvel can do with the Fantastic Four in the cinematic universe. Uh, to see if is it really the Fox that failed them, or is it just the Fantastic Four doesn't translate to the big screen as well as other characters do?
Hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
But I mean, yeah, it's still early on. We don't know casting. I know the fan favorite has for the longest time has been John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman. But who knows once they start rolling? I'm sure now that it's been announced, they'll
Yeah,
start
I
moving
think John
forward.
Krasinski was able to have talks, right? But nothing's confirmed.
I don't know if he's had talks, maybe, but possibly. I haven't really
Yeah,
been tracking the news, but I do know that was one of the fan favorites that people have been really pushing for, and
yeah,
he is about the right age
yeah,
to be
and,
playing that type of character.
yeah. And the chemistry that they have together already as husband and wife really shows on screen during a Quiet Place too.
Oh,
So
and you know who I've been hearing lately to play uh Doctor Doom?
who?
Uh Moth Gideon.
Really? Um, Giancarlo?
Yeah, Giancarlo
As,
Esposito.
yeah.
And it's funny because the Instagram account I follow, Boss Logic, he did a post with like him wearing the Doctor Doom face mask but kind of broken.
Yeah.
Um, and the other face is kind of jacked up. I instantly knew right away they stole that scene. He grabbed that scene from Breaking Bad after the
Uh-huh.
explosion for
Yeah.
that Photoshop.
It's crazy because I didn't notice that he's been in so many things. He's in almost everything, dude. He's like the Samuel Jackson for Latino actor. Um,
I know Martha was so surprised when I'm like, no, he's not black, he's Hispanic.
yeah. Yeah.
uh, Yeah, he's such a good actor, and I think people the reason he's gotten such a push for Doctor Doom is because he plays you know confident intellectual so well. Like
Hmm.
he can really stretch a scene out with just a look, and then let the tension build. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what you want in a supervillain is, especially Doctor Doom is, you want that overconfidence. You want hopefully something like Killmonger in Black Panther, where you know audiences might kind of agree with the villain a little
Hmm.
bit.
Yeah.
Like he's not wrong.
All right. So Fantastic Four. We're just gonna have to wait to see more information about it, but it seems like they're shooting for 2023. So
Yeah,
we got
that's a
quite a
brand
bit
new
of
project.
way until we get that movie out. Um, Anything else you're excited for besides that?
I'm excited for the show Hawkeye. I
Yeah.
wasn't before, but ever
Hmm.
since they casted um Haley Steinfeld, I'm down. And the pictures have been coming out with her in her Hawkeye costume, uniform, whatever.
Hmm.
I'm excited, dude. It looks kind of like they're gonna be playing kind of fugitives or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of exciting to see that. Like, I saw a couple of the pictures too, and it looks like they've been in production for quite some time, like probably
Mhm.
a couple of months now. So
Yeah.
kind of cool to see that. Something that they didn't really put light on during the conference that much because it's coming out soon is WandaVision. I'm kind of excited to see that. That's
Yeah, next
coming
month,
out.
right?
Yeah, next month.
Like January 15th or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, Wanda. Well, I mean, they didn't put that much light on it, but they've been announcing this like crazy since summertime.
Hmm.
They really ramped it up in November with like Entertainment Weekly doing the cover for put him on the cover,
Hmm.
and it's kind of confirming everybody's thoughts about what the show's gonna be,
Hmm.
about it being kind of a twisted
Very
universe
weird.
created by
Yeah.
Wanda, and just
Hmm.
yeah, it's surreal slash comedy type of thing. Um, yeah, but I mean, one thing we kind of we're expecting here is it's going to set up the next phase of Marvel. This is going to be kind of like the little. It's not going to be a long running series. It's just going to be a setup for the next phase to really get us
Hmm.
understanding where everybody's at now.
Yeah, I think this is the closest thing to Marvel that we can get for a while until the movies comes out again.
I mean, this is officially the year without Marvel, right? There's nothing Marvel came out this year, right?
Uh,
Not
Maybe at the
everything
very
got pushed
beginning of the
out.
year. I can't. Oh yeah, that's right. Because I think Black Widow was supposed to be the one that
That
was
kicked everything off.
yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Oh man,
everything was delayed.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
I think Eternals was supposed to come out this year too.
it was supposed to be a fall release. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, everything just got
yeah,
pushed back. So I guess this year is kind of like a runoff. So. All
yeah.
right, we got a lot of stuff to go through to the next sections and stuff. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we move on?
Let me just do one more quick look. Armor Wars is gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
That one is kind of really you know harking back to the original Iron Man, which is this was Tony's nightmare from the very beginning. That his tech would get into the wrong hands, and uh, to quote the villain from the first Iron Man is he wanted an army of iron soldiers, and it
yeah.
looks like somebody did, and now Rhodey's trying to stop it.
I wonder if Jeff Bridges is coming back. Wait, he died, right?
No,
He
he
died.
didn't. No, he
No,
didn't.
so I guess he might be coming back.
I think his brother died. I think Bo Bridges died. Somebody had a heart attack, but it wasn't Jeff Bridges.
No. I'm talking about his character.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah,
what? Uh, did we confirm that he died? I know he got really screwed up in that suit. I don't know if he actually died though.
yeah,
They never mentioned him again, so possibly.
yeah. So I don't know. But then Hammer is
Maybe
still alive, I
flashbacks.
think, right? Is Hammer still alive?
Yeah, this is Yeah, I think this is going to be our Hammer Tech or Hammer
Hmm.
Industries
Hmm.
that creates these armies,
Hmm.
which is really just stretching what happened in Iron Man 2,
Hmm.
where all
Yeah.
the different types of suits went crazy.
Yeah. Kind of excited to see that. I just want to see more suits.
I
So.
just want to see if Don Cheadle can hold the lead now that Robert Downey's out of the picture.
Hmm.
He is the new Iron Man, so we'll see.
True.
All right, Anton, ready to move away from those Disney announcements?
Not really, because the next topic we're going to be talking about in a
But
bit is
that's
Disney related.
it's still Disney. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is
All right.
the two old Disney's podcast.
Okay.
Um, Spider-Man 3. Has it been? Was it last episode or 2 episodes ago? We talked about casting rumors. Well, there's more coming with Alfred Molina being casted to reprise his role as Otto Octavius or Doc Ock for those in the know.
Yeah.
Uh, really, really lending credence to this is a Spider-Verse or at least a Sinister Six movie in the works.
Yeah. So I really hate that these are leaking. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, or I these
I
should
know.
be better kept as a secret. Like, I mean, they can do it pretty well with Star Wars. Why they can't? Why can't they do it with Marvel?
Yeah, that's something we don't really know where these leaks are coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kind of makes me suspicious about, is this a publicity thing? Are they just trying to rank up the excitement after the last Marvel phase ended? And also got to be on, got to keep in mind too. This is a multi-production studio project,
Yeah.
so not it's not just Disney slash Marvel doing this. It's also Sony.
Yeah.
So either studio can be taking it upon themselves to leak certain information to get more excitement.
Mm-hmm. So the thing that I was really excited about, which gave me a little bit of hope, is they're bringing someone back that we thought was gonna be gone forever, and that is this guy right here. Let me pull him up.
First Tomei.
Daredevil.
Oh, I forgot about this. Yes,
Yeah. So sounds
Daredevil.
like
Well,
he is also
well,
defending New York.
well. I'm trying to. We have to be careful though, because this one they said Charlie Cox has been casted
Mm-hmm.
or rumored to be joining the cast. We don't know if he's coming back as Daredevil or at least the Daredevil we know. The more this stuff comes out, the more I'm kind of feeling, are we getting different versions of like, are we going to get a different version of Daredevil, or are we going to see like a quick glimpse of other universes as, you know, say Doctor Strange makes a portal, and as Tom Holland Spider-Man's flying through the air, is he going to get like quick images of other Spider-Man universes in the background?
Yeah, because I mean they said it was canon. They confirmed that it was canon. The shows were canon.
Did they backtrack? Because I know initially they said that they were kind of retconning the
Mm-hmm.
Netflix universe shows, that they were not canon.
Yeah, that's still up to negotiations, I think. But
Especially now that
yeah.
Netflix, now that
Yeah.
Disney has the rights again.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Daredevil was the first Netflix, a Marvel Netflix series rights to revert back to them. The next one, I guess, would be Jessica Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what order they came out in.
Yeah. Uh,
Yes.
so yeah, we just
So
have
well,
to wait and see because I hope he comes back. I'm excited to
yeah,
see
I know.
more. Mm-hmm.
It was such a buildup of a show, and then just died
Mm-hmm.
on the table, on the negotiation table. All right, Anton. What's going on with the Golden Globes?
So the Golden Globes recently, I mean, Oscars is I don't know if they announced it yet, but people are trying to say that Minari, which is a movie, um, I wouldn't technically say it's a foreign movie. It's shot and directed and produced by Americans, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
the movie is about immigrants from Korea that came here, and they were chasing an American dream. They own a farm, and they're trying to do whatever they can to survive. And it's a great story, and it stars Steven Yeun from Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And people have said that he might be considered to be best leading actor, best actor
Really?
for the Oscars because of his performance. And what I've been reading so far, people who have seen the movie, is that they keep praising about his performance. So,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, flashing forward to now, Golden Globes. They don't recognize this movie as a Best Picture because they say this is a foreign movie. But how is it a foreign
Racist.
movie when it's shot in America? It's made by American people, American
Mm-hmm.
actors, and the only thing is that they're drawing back is the movie was half in English and half in Korean. Does that make sense to you? That it's
No.
yeah.
And it kind of goes back to, the production company's way of viewing television and movies, where you can't have a you can't focus too much on one ethnicity, or was it Master of None that yeah, I think it was Master of None, the Aziz Ansari Netflix show,
Mm-hmm.
where he was going to a casting audition for a Friends like show,
Mm-hmm.
and the casting directors really liked Aziz's audition, but they also liked this other Indian guy's audition, and they had to choose between the two.
Yeah,
And the
yeah, I
two
remember
guys were
that one.
friends. Were like why can't you just pick two of us? Oh, we can't have two Indian guys. Why not? Well, because people will think it's an Indian show. What? No, just because how many white people do you guys have on your show? Like stuff like that. It's kind of, and I'm wondering if this is true. Like, you have because he is Korean, Stephen Yoon. So, if you have him as a lead, and then the movie's half in Korean, I just wonder that's kind of like the old school Hollywood way of thinking of, well, that just equals foreign film.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid. Um,
Yeah, it is. I'm not defending them. I'm just saying.
and that's a screenshot of the movie there on the screen.
No, that's from Parasite. No,
No,
that's what you're talking
no. See what
You're
difference
like,
does it
damn it,
make? You
Alan. Not
know,
all.
Parasite. So
You're like, damn it, Alan. Not all Korean movies are Parasite.
yeah, dude. Just by looking at the topics of this episode, we got some pretty diverse stuff here. So let's go ahead and move on to streaming.
All right, so let's stream it up. What is this House of Ho?
Okay, so House of Ho is a reality TV show that recently got released on HBO Max. And
Mhm.
this show is following a rich family in Houston with the last name Ho. They are originally from, well, the parents are originally from Vietnam. So this is kind of like the Kardashians, the Asian version of Kardashians. Uh, I think it's an 8-part episode, probably about half an hour each. And
Mhm.
I watched a couple of the episodes so far, and I think this is something that kind of gives light to the Asian community, that there is more. There's not just like the boring people that are very introvert and don't really go out and tell stories about our culture. I think this is
Mhm.
a kind of like a start, with Crazy Rich Asians being able to tell stories about different cultures and stuff like that a lot of people are not um, familiar with. This is that. So it follows a rich family. The parents came here with nothing. Uh, they literally had like pennies in their pockets or something. And I think the dad worked at I think was it a gas station or something? I think it was the gas station or something like that. And then a guy pulls up in a Cadillac, and he's thinking in his head, he's like, I'm gonna be like that guy. I'm gonna own a Cadillac someday. And then he saved up his money. He started reinvesting. He started doing a bunch of stuff, and he built this whole entire empire off of owning a bank. And with all his kids that are born in the United States, he wants to start naming them after presidents. So we got like the first.
I think it's after. I don't know why I thought you were gonna say after cars. Come on, Chrysler. Come on, Ford.
Yeah. So we got his firstborn son, which is Washington. Oh. And then that was his only son. So then, they can't really name anything after that. But then he also had a daughter. And you can't really name a daughter after the presidents because all the presidents are male. So what
Bush?
What did they name her? They name her Judy.
Just Judy.
Yeah, just Judy. But the funny thing is, like, all their kids, his grandkids, which is Washington's kids and Judy's kids, all those kids have presidents' names. So we got Truman, we got Reagan, we got McKinley. So it's hilarious.
Kennedy.
Yeah. Yes. Anyways, you got a lot of drama in this family. Judy just went through like a divorce, and she's trying to get to to move out on her own. But then she has to move in with her brother for a couple months until her house is done or something like that. But dude, these people are so rich. They got like Ferraris, Lamborghinis. They got like multi-million-dollar homes. It's just freaking insane how rich these people are. But it's kind of cool that they have that very cultural thing still. Even though they're rich, they have a lot of morals. They have that Vietnamese flair to it because they have a reputation in the Vietnamese community. So if they don't look right a certain way, people judge. So it's kind of interesting to see that as a cultural thing that also affects the status quo. Like, not only because you're rich, you think a certain way. There are certain things that there's a bar, So let's say it's a better version of Kardashians where you don't get I can't believe I just didn't date that guy today or something like that. It's not that. It's more like, oh God, we got problems and how to fix it, family stuff. But yeah, it's kind of exciting to see that. I'm only 2 episodes in, but I think I can pretty much finish the whole thing in just one sitting. But yeah, kind of exciting to see that.
How long are each episode?
About half an hour each.
Okay, so it's a short one. I thought it'd be like hour-long ones. That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, Anton. So while you checked out that, I checked out another fellow Latinx. So I saw this on HBO.
Hey. We're showing diversity here.
That's true. That is true. This is a very diverse episode. The 2OC episode 140. Diversity Day.
Diversity.
So I watched Selena and Chef. This is an HBO Max original, and originally I kind of ignored it, but then HBO Max finally added the app to the Roku. So I was showing.
Dude, they signed it and it went up that quick.
Oh, because Roku crazy. Wants that Wonder Woman streaming.
Yeah.
They want a piece of that. And I honestly think that's one reason why HBO Max has been so low compared to other streaming services, because they're not on the biggest device out there for streaming, which is the Roku.
Yeah, for a while, like I had a Roku in my my bedroom, and I love the Roku. Like, everything's on there. But then before, they used to have regular HBO on there, so I used to be able to watch like Game of Thrones or whatever on there. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, HBO Max is the new version. They don't have HBO Max on there. So I'm like, it's so weird. I mean, it's on everything else. You know,
Yeah, it was
why
what,
is it
at
on
least
there?
three. It was like 3 months worth, 2 months worth of no app.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was showing Martha through the different shows, and I remember I saw Selena and Chef, and we've been kind of on a cooking show binge lately.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's check it out. We binged the entire show in one sitting.
Wow.
It's the first. It's only one season. It's I
Mm-hmm.
believe 8 episodes, and the premise is Selena is in quarantine, like we all are,
Mm-hmm.
and they just shipped her a bunch of cameras to set up around the kitchen, some lighting, and she Skypes in professional chefs, and they walk her through doing certain recipes.
Mm-hmm.
The first chef is his name is Ludo. Why did I pick the French one as the example? Anyways, he walked her how to make a French omelet and also a souffle. Some other chefs you might recognize. It's Roy Choi makes an appearance on this one.
Yeah.
And it's this show has me on two spectrums, both on Team Selena, even though I really just know her from memes. I don't really follow her music.
Uh-huh.
And also pulling my hair when some of her friends, who she's also quarantining with, make an appearance. So when it's Selena, and also her grandparents are quarantining with her. So it's Selena, her grandparents, and then two of her friends are in the same household. When her grandparents are on scene, or when she's by herself, she's 100% trying. She doesn't get as frazzled. She might make mistakes, but she just focuses and regroups right away. When her friends are in the picture, oh my god, dude, I swear she becomes a blonde all of a sudden. She can't do crap. She freaks out. There was a part where they couldn't. Oh, I guess they turned off the gas to her kitchen. I told Martha, like, they probably were getting some work done in the house. They turned off the gas and they forgot to turn it back on. And her and her two friends couldn't figure out what was wrong. The oven wasn't heating up, and then when she tried to light the stove, you heard the clicking, but nothing was lighting. And one of her friends, like, oh my god, we're so stupid. The pilot light went off. I'm like, what pilot light? And then they try to use a lighter to light it, and I'm like, the gas is off. I'm watching the show, and even though I know the gas is off, and I told Martha, I'm like, it's even more stupid there because two things. One, you can probably hear the gas coming out if it was on, because it'll make that slight. Yeah, exactly. It'll make that slight whistle.
Exactly. The whole show just turned into ASMR.
Or B, the smell. Yeah. The odor. You would smell it.
Oh yeah, you can totally smell the gas.
Yeah. So finally, her grandpa, I guess, was walking by the kitchen, heard what was going on, and said, "Oh, the gas is off. I'll turn it back on."
Yeah, I missed. Living in Florida, I kind of missed the natural smell of gas.
The natural smell? There's no natural smell of gas.
It's natural gas. They call it natural gas.
They call it natural gas, but they add odor to it.
Yeah, the funny thing is that we don't have that here. Well, most houses here don't have it. I'd say probably 80%. We're all on electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, you do have electric stove.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I mean, overall, I would say I would recommend the show just for the recipes and some slight entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
But just prepare the cringe.
Yeah, I think my wife Julie wanted to watch it. She's been hinting for a while now. She's like, "Oh yeah, Selena has a show."
Definitely check out the Roy.
Selena has a show. Okay.
Definitely check out the Roy Choi episode.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one?
I got his book. Do you have his book?
No, I don't.
It's funny.
I do want to start.
I'm flipping through the book, right? I'm looking at the recipes, and then I kind of remember Jon Favreau from the Chef Show, and everything else. Yeah, he was like, "Hey, Roy, how come every time I ask you for a recipe, you always tell me something different?" And I'm following the book. Like everything that you're telling me here is not on your book. Everything here is different. And then Roy's like,
Spoiler, you get that in the show too, in his
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he goes, all right, we're gonna put in the sesame oil, and Selena goes, how much? Oh shit, you're asking the wrong guy. She goes, what? He's like, I don't really measure. Like, that's fine,
He
just
goes
pour
by
that.
taste.
He does, and
Yeah.
he's so like carefree about it. Like
Mhm.
he altered the recipe like 2 times just to because of something Selena mentioned.
Yeah.
They make what are they called? They're Hawaiian donuts. I forgot what they're called. Um, did I mention here? Oh, malasadas.
Mhm.
They're making that, and
Mhm.
then Selena's grandma mentioned, "Oh, my mother used to make them, but she made a hole in them in the middle." And Roy goes, "All right, cool, yeah, let's do that. Let's honor your grand. Let's honor her. Let's do this, or let's heat up the tortillas on the stove to honor your other grandmother. Like, let's do that, stuff like that." Like he's very carefree. Oh, and his daughter makes an appearance. It's kind of funny seeing like a 16-year-old girl geeking out over Selena.
Oh my god, is that Selena?
Yeah, she does that, and then she randomly calls Taylor Swift, and then the daughter could not stop like freaking out. She goes, "Holy crap! Selena Gomez and Taylor Swift are on camera with me."
All right, I
I'm
gotta
like,
check that out. That sounds
yeah,
hilarious. Okay.
yeah. I would think the Roy Choi episode at least.
Yeah.
Check that one out. The
All
rest
right.
of the episodes, Julie can watch.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah,
so let me
Julie's probably
see.
gonna be excited that I'm gonna tell her to watch it.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Go on, go on. I'm done talking about Selena.
All right. So we got Attack on Titan. It's back. I am so excited for the season. This is the finale. So far it is so intense. Like they're in the war. They're showing us like stuff that's going on in the past. Um, and I can't really say anything else because I don't think you've seen it yet.
No,
You haven't caught up, right?
no, I haven't. I'm still behind. I think I only
Okay.
finished the first season.
Yeah.
First two
So
seasons.
stuff right now is just bonkers, insane, and I'll just leave it at that. We'll talk about it once you're all caught
I
up.
will say, Attack on Titan has been so good at freaking cliffhangers.
Oh
That
yeah,
that
yeah, they're very good.
they really know how to crank it up at the last second and make you go, what? What just happened?
Yeah, but the cool thing is that when it comes back, dude, it is so they hit it so hard. Like it's just nonstop, like boom, boom,
I mean,
boom, boom. I'm like,
yeah, they
mind
deliver.
blown. Yeah,
Yeah, they deliver. They're not like those shows that like they leave you on a big cliffhanger, and then within the first 2 minutes of the next season, they're like, yeah, forget about that. That was really
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah.
Ignore that.
I hate that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. Kind of excited for that.
Network shows are the worst at doing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, Anton. Ready to talk about our weekly and probably not for another year segment of The Mandalorian.
Yes, let's talk about that.
All right. So since last episode, we the last 2 episodes of the season came out. Chapter 15, The Believer, and Chapter 16, The Rescue. So the Believer was really, how do I say? I guess it is
Mhm.
a heist episode with the return of Bill Burr's character Mayfield, or Mayfeld,
Mhm.
who were lost on the prison ship. Was it
Mhm.
a prison ship, right?
Yeah.
Now they're trying to work their way into an Empire base to gather information on where Grogu was taken.
Mhm.
Uh, dude, I'm not a big fan of Bill Burr.
Mhm.
I think the past year I've only agreed with him once, and that was on his segment on SNL for his open monologue.
Yeah, I thought
Beyond
that
that,
was a really good monologue.
yeah,
Yeah.
beyond that, I'm really not a fan of. I find him kind of annoying, very Boston,
Mhm.
um, or New York. I guess New York. But in this one, damn, he won me over, dude.
Yeah, he's good. He's good in movies like real roles. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He got me on that too. Like I thought he was more like a comedic guy, but man, he's good.
yeah. You really start siding with him. So walking through the episode, they come up with this weird plan to hijack a fuel truck
Mhm.
that is going to the regular supplies the Imperial base on this planet, and they hijack it in a tunnel, and then make their way infiltrate the base from that point
Dude, this
forward.
whole
Uh,
freaking episode reminds me of a freaking video game.
yes,
It's
yes,
so
you have to freaking
yeah,
protect the cargo. You
yeah,
have to at least like deliver. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Um, I, I when I first took it over, it's funny. Like Pedro Pascal can be in the suit, but somehow still convey discomfort.
Yeah.
And this one, he was in a stormtrooper suit, and just his body language and he's always silent, but his demeanor, for lack of better phrasing, conveyed discomfort. Like I told Martha, I'm like, he is not happy about not being in the suit right now. He has his face covered, but he is not happy right now. He feels
So
awkward.
this is something I'm trying to understand. I don't. I hope they shine more light on it. Is he in the suit most of the time, or is it someone else playing that role, and then he only comes in when he's supposed to come in? Because I know that he does a lot of voiceover in
I,
the
I
studio.
I know people are very there's a rumor, or there's some conspiracy theories that he's not really in the suit. He's just doing the voiceover.
Because I think that's what
Uh,
happened during the first season, is that he wasn't there until like probably 75% way through the whole entire series. And the first
See,
time that
but
he ever showed on set was because
the last one.
this is something that did mention in the behind the scenes series,
Hmm.
where they did say that he was there, and there was like three guys that dressed up exactly like him. There was the action guy, there was the stand-in guy, and then there's him.
Yeah, see, I don't doubt that they sub in
Hmm.
the stunt action, or the action person,
Hmm.
the stuntman, um, in
But
to
I
certain
yeah,
on
I
certain
think you're
scenes.
right though. For like the acting parts, they need him.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
thing though. Like, I think this is be you're right. There could be a situation where an actor could take the easy way out and just take the voiceover gig, and just do it that way. But I have a lot of respect for Pedro Pascal's acting, and I really think he would want to be in the suit himself.
Hmm.
But I mean, stunt doubles, that's no different than in the show. Suit or no suit, when a certain action scene happens,
Hmm.
they'll replace it with a stunt double for
Hmm.
that scene. So I think this just makes the swapping a lot easier. But for the rest of the time, I don't doubt that that's Pedro in there.
Hmm. Yeah.
And also
So.
there are certain scenes, either in the Mando helmet or in the Stormtrooper helmet,
Hmm.
where the light hits just right, and you can kind of see him behind the mask. Like it looks like, when you see somebody with sunglasses and the sun's bright enough and hitting directly, you kind of see their eyes.
Hmm.
You kind of see Pedro in there, so I don't doubt that that's him in there.
Hmm. Okay, so I think that was pretty much it, right, for this episode. Just felt like a video game,
Uh,
and yeah,
Video game, and the ending, I really felt the conversation at the table with the Imperial officer. That scene was worth the entire damn episode right there.
yeah, it's very
Uh,
intense. It felt like
the,
that moment in Inglorious Bastards when the Christoph Waltz character is sitting there talking to
yes.
um, what's his name, Brad Pitt. So
Uh-huh.
intense, probably one of the
Yeah, like
most intense things I've ever seen in my life in the movie, and this was that same exact scene, and that guy was so creepy. Where's this guy from?
he was he
He
was a
looks so
freaking
familiar.
sociopath.
Yeah.
Kind of officer, uh, security droid, gun, stormtrooper. I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't find him here.
he's in a lot of movies, and he always plays that creepy guy. I think he was in
Oh, there you go.
Pirates, Pirates
Valen
of the Caribbean.
Hess. He was in. I know, as I'm seeing this picture right now, I'm like, holy crap, he was familiar.
It's
Sanctuary,
always this guy.
Royals,
It's always that guy and
Supernatural.
Jackie Earl Haley. That like they're both really good actors, but they can play creepy. They
He was
can
in Game
play
of
good.
Thrones.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's also in Game of
He,
Thrones.
the Night King.
He was the Night King.
Was the Night King.
Really?
2 episodes. Oathkeeper and Hard Home.
Mm.
Um, Yeah, he has a long list, dude.
Hmm.
And even CSI and Halloween too. Yeah, dude, that scene was intense because you know how short fused and how damaged Mayfeld is, and hearing him talk about the war and how pretty much what Val and Hess was saying was soldiers are cheap. The real worth is the experience for the officers. Um, and that pretty much he had no regrets. And you can see the tension was there with Mayfeld. You seen him trying to like slowly crack, and it's gonna hit the fan. You just don't know when. Like he's a ticking time bomb at that point. And also the cherry on top was Mando in the background being very quiet and like staring out to the side. I'm like, he is so socially awkward, and I think and I love that Pedro did that because it's you can as somebody that's always used to being behind a helmet, you're not used to maintaining eye contact.
Yeah. And
So
plus,
without a
like you're
helmet,
always having emotions under it, and you're trying
yeah,
to hide your emotions most of the time. And when you
yeah,
hide your emotions, it's like when you're exposed, you don't know what to do.
yeah. But the thing is, so he has the helmet off. He's not making eye contact, so he's just awkward and staring up to the side. And I'm like, that is that is such a subtle thing, and I loved it. Like it's like he's an antisocial kid that got thrown into a party, and he doesn't want to talk to anybody.
I don't belong here. I'm just here to do whatever and
Yeah,
get.
yeah. But I really once Mayfeld exploded, I really wanted to. I wasn't mad at him. I was
Mhm.
like, good,
Yeah.
good. That guy had it coming.
Yeah.
All right, Anton. Ready to move on to chapter 16?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to chapter 16.
All right, the rescue. So the Mandalorian and his allies attempt a daring rescue for Grogu. So this is the
Okay.
return of Katie Sackhoff's Bo-Katan
Mm-hmm.
and what's the other chick's name? I forgot what her name was.
Uh,
Finnick.
Finnick.
Well, Finnick was is Ming Na Win's character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Casca Reeves. There we go. The other Mando. Bo,
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Bo, Bo,
Oh
Bo
yeah,
is
she's a in real life she's a WWE superstar.
she is
Yeah.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah. Sasha Banks.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Look at
Oh.
the pictures.
That's why she
Oh,
had that
okay.
crazy move and maneuver in that episode where they're at
They were
the
fighting.
yeah, they were fighting. Yep.
Yeah.
That was it. Okay, so this episode alone, man, there's so much fan service in this episode. Like I totally
All right.
nerdgasm. Uh, yeah, it
All right. All
was
right. Well,
that
let's
crazy.
let's start off with how badass that first scene was, with the Boba Fett and Mando and everybody attacking the Imperial ship carrying uh the the scientist, for what his name was,
Yeah, that was
uh
pretty freaking out. Badass,
Dr.
awesome.
Pershing.
Yeah.
Dr. Pershing.
Mhm.
Uh, so much misdirection there.
Mhm.
You can tell like at first you think the pilots are just gonna give up because they're like, we value our life here.
Mhm.
We're not gonna fight.
Mhm.
We have no weapons, and you're automatically thinking, okay, Dr. Pershing's gonna be the one that instigates shit, and nope. Lo and behold, one of the pilots is a total hardcore, lack of a better word, Nazi Imperial officer that's willing to kill the doctor to protect himself and to fight off these pirates,
Yeah.
and kills his fellow pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's funny because the other guy was like, "Oh, I'll give you guys anything," and then he gets killed off. Um,
yeah. The other guy seems like he was just like, look, I'm just a seasonal temp here. I really don't care. I'm an Uber driver for the Empire.
yeah.
uh, no, but similar to the last episode, this scene with that one pilot that was holding Dr. Pershing hostage, just talking smack to Cara Dune, kind of rubbing salt in her wounds, seeing her home planet destroyed, and the back and forth with you know the perspectives again, from kind of lending from our the opening conversation about from a certain point of view. It's from the Imperial standpoint, a bunch of terrorists blew up their
Planet.
base and
Mm-hmm.
killed. No, for the Empire, the
Oh
Death
yeah, that's
Star.
right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A bunch of terrorists blew up their base and killed thousands of fellow Imperial officers, Imperial soldiers. Meanwhile, to Cara Dune, the Empire destroyed her home planet with all her friends and family on it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, how satisfying was it when she just blasted him?
Very
Like
satisfying.
she knew she was gonna do it. She kept
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Don't do it. Put it
Oh.
down. Don't do it. Don't."
You see it coming though. Like he was
It,
asking
it,
for
he totally was, dude. I'm like,
it.
God damn, he's just running his mouth. He doesn't know what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right,
So
so go ahead.
yes, very satisfying. I think the part where they're trying to get into that Star Destroyer was insane. I really thought I was gonna go a different way, but it totally was pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that was the plan, is that they were gonna use that Imperial cargo ship to pretty much make it seem like they were getting chased by Boba Fett's ship,
Mm-hmm.
and taking fire, and that they need to make an emergency landing. But I mean, Moff Gideon was not buying it.
Mm-hmm.
He was suspicious right away, and he scrambled TIE fighters, and uh, Bo-Katan had to make a call and just crash land into the I don't know what they called it, but I'm gonna call it launch tube.
Launch tube. Okay.
Launch tube.
Entrance to the carrier.
Well, it's an entrance and exit.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh, Also, something I've also heard pointed out too is they think that this is that scene was an homage to Katie Sackhoff's previous role in Battlestar, where she's constantly making crash landings on the deck,
Mm-hmm.
and this was very much a crash landing on a deck.
It probably is a homage to that.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's the last we see of Boba Fett. He takes care of the two TIE fighters really easily and gets the hell out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving Mando and the squad of women
Mm-hmm.
to go rescue Grogu.
and I think it was kind of obvious that it was a all girl group thing going on there. Do you think that new show, the I'm sorry,
Which one? The Rangers?
yeah, Rangers, is a all women cast type of show too, or do you think it's gonna be
No, because I think Finnick is going to be more in, and that
in
we'll touch
Boba
about
Fett?
that later.
Mm-hmm.
That Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett,
Mm-hmm.
and Bo-Katan is going to be carried on into Mandalorian season 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is kind of a one-time thing.
Mm-hmm.
But considering these are kind of three different branches that are going to come from this scene, this is kind of reverse of what um, Endgame was trying to do with an homage to all the women, all the superhero women in one scene. This is all the badass women in the Mando universe in
Mm-hmm.
one scene again.
Yeah, I think it's a rare moment. We probably won't
Yeah.
get it as much because people are gonna be like, "Whoa, that's
No,
too much."
this is the
Mhm.
last hurrah before everybody graduates and goes on to college, to different colleges and universities.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's
So
go ahead.
so again, they killed the stormtroopers very easily, and Martha's been very vocal about how trash these stormtroopers are, more than usual. So yeah, so I mean, next up, we go to Mando going to get rid of the dark troopers, which, going back to Battlestar Galactica, they really gave Cylon vibes with the animation.
Yeah, they did. Um,
Uh,
so it's funny, like when you first see all those dark troopers, you're like, "Oh man, this is gonna be a really tough fight," and then they start flying out of the.
Okay, I was getting frustrated with the Dark Troopers throughout this whole buildup because I swear it must take 30 minutes to boot these things up.
Mm-hmm.
They were unhooking, booting up, unlocking easily 20 minutes.
Yeah, because
I
these
was
are
telling,
still on beta. They're
oh,
still
this is the
testing
beta.
these. Yeah, they're still in beta.
uh, yeah,
It's not
so
even
so
alpha.
Mando, so Mando had his hands full with one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked like there was 2 dozen in that room. That you were like, holy crap, he's gonna have. Also, who knew his helmet was that damn strong?
Oh,
He
Mandos?
Mando's helmet is that damn strong.
Yeah, it's a Beskar. Beskar is like.
No, I know, but Jesus, he was getting smashed into the wall, into a metal wall. Uh, Beskar or not, that guy should have a concussion or knocked out by that point.
Yeah, it probably has really good cushion in there. Um, yeah, but
Because
but as soon as those dark troopers left the ship, first thought in their head, oh yeah, those things can fly.
well, that was
Foreshadowing
my
later.
that was my thought too. I'm like, they're robots. Like, what is that gonna do?
Yeah, I was like, what are
Like,
they
and
gonna do?
we saw them with rocket boots in the previous
Yeah.
episode or 2 episodes before
Mm-hmm.
that, so we knew they're not that easy to destroy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wasn't buying it, and
Mm-hmm.
if that was the end of the Dark Troopers, I was like, that would have been stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so let me see. I'm trying to think too. The next scene was the women taking over the command. The command.
Mm-hmm. Women taking over
That was
command, and then they were trying to find Moff Gideon, but they didn't. And then it turns out that
he was with Grogu,
yeah, he was with
which
Grogu. Yeah, which Mando was trying
uh,
to trying to get Grogu. They kind of talked it out, and it seems like everything's gonna be fine. But it turns out that Moff
it
Gideon is trying to kill Mando.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of issues with this scene,
Mm-hmm.
mainly because he keeps calling Bo-Katan and Mando savages, murderers, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, he tries to kill a man by stabbing him in the back with a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for the best car, he would have been dead. But like, come on, you can't call somebody a savage and then try to stab him in the back
Yeah,
when he's not looking. When he's trying to rescue a baby.
yeah. I think they're trying to marinate the scene with that because a lot of people don't. A
Such a
lot of
direct
new
term.
fans, a lot of new fans who are not familiar with the previous stuff with all these characters. I think that's what they were trying to do with this scene is trying to marinate that type of vibe.
Mhm.
But anyways, I thought the fight scene was
Well,
pretty cool. I
also,
was,
a nice little touch to the second, third episode. Well, early on in the season, we see the Beskar spear. I forgot to mention that,
yeah,
the
dude.
one that he was promised.
Yeah, so the so the whole time they were fighting, like the first 20 seconds, I was like,
Yeah.
use the spear already, use the freaking spear. And
Yeah,
all he's doing is just dodging, and then when he
yeah,
uses it, it's freaking awesome. Love that scene.
I know.
The whole fight scene was awesome. Yeah. So.
Uh, so Gideon gets his ass kicked,
Mhm,
rightfully so.
mhm,
Mando takes the saber. This is the other part I have a problem with.
mhm,
So they go back to the command center or the yeah, it's command, whatever, and Gideon is just running his mouth, mocking them, pretty much referencing what he said earlier about assume that he knows everything, and Mando, I guess Gideon was trying to make it seem like Bo-Katan was going to try to kill him for the saber, and Mando was like, whatever, here, take it. I don't really care about it. I just want Grogu. And she couldn't take it because it has to be won in battle.
yeah, because remember in Rebels, Sabine had it, and she had to fight with Bo to give to Bo.
I don't remember that fight. I remember they fought, but that was separate, and it wasn't until in front of all the clans
Hmm.
that Sabine gave it to her
Hmm.
and said, after all the clans said they already pledged allegiance to Bo,
Hmm.
uh, she accepted the saber, which I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought that was kind of weird. But either way, though, that's a nice little odd quinketing they put themselves into.
Mm-hmm.
So that might add some tension to the next season. So, I think that's it. That's it for the episode, right, Anton? Nothing else
Uh,
happens. Just the end,
oh
season two.
man. So the Dark Troopers come back, as we
Yes.
foreshadowed. Um,
They start trying to smash in the. Okay, so it's a funny little thing. So they say seal the blast doors, right?
mm-hmm.
And after all the Star Wars stuff that we know is totally make believe. The one thing that Martha had an issue with was blast doors, and I told her,
Blast doors.
no, that's a thing. That is a real thing. That
Yeah.
there are bases with blast doors in real life. That the blast door just means it can withstand a blast. Like that is a thing. That's not a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
She goes, blast doors.
Yeah. So Dark Troopers come back, and it looks like all hopes is going to be lost because we already saw
Okay,
how crazy Mando was
pause
having
again.
a fight with one guy.
Is it me or did it seem like there was more Dark Troopers coming back than we were initially shot out?
I
It
don't know. I
looked like
didn't. It looks
it
like
looked
it.
like
Yeah.
it looks like at least like 5 dozen Dark Troopers were coming back to this ship. Meanwhile, I'd only recall seeing like maybe 20 of them got sent out into space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we think they're about to get their ass kicked. They're getting ready to start firing as soon as the Dark Troopers break their way in
Yeah.
with Rock'em Sock'em style, just boom, boom,
That's true.
boom.
It's kind of like Rock and Sock'em. Yeah, and then we see this X-wing that just flies by, and my first thought was like, "Oh my God, is that
I know,
one
X-wing.
the squadron?" But then when one of the members was
This
confirming that it was
that's
X-wing, first thought was like, "Oh man, it's Luke. It's got to be
no,
Luke."
that's when I was like, all right, here, because I already knew. I'm like, the Jedi's gonna save the day at the last second.
Hmm.
I already knew it was gonna happen.
Hmm.
But I was like, all right, yeah, sure. They're about to fight their way out of all these Dark Troopers, sure. And then it's an X-wing. At this point, I'm like, I sit up, I'm like, X-wing. Any markings? Any swamp like
Swamp
like
marking.
leaves? Any like what is that an X-wing? And the the Jedi
Mhm.
bust out a green lightsaber.
I'm like, that's
I was like,
Luke.
what lightsaber did Luke end up with? Blue or green? Green?
Green.
I'm pretty sure it's green.
It's green.
And then the scene that I felt finally clenched it for me, or I was gonna be really pissed off if they did an old switcheroo, was when he was in the storage dock area or whatever, and you can see he's force pushing the robots with one hand, and his other hand holding the saber is gloved.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, it's Luke.
Yeah, I was like, man, one-handed. Oh, that's Luke. Oh, yeah, dude. That whole scene was marinating us like to the reveal, and I love how the whole scene was building up to it because there's so much
Yeah.
tension, and with that robe on, you can't really see what's going on or who's under there. Man, the way that they deliver this, so much fan service.
Have you seen the side by side of the way Luke was wielding his lightsaber compared to that scene in Rogue One when Darth Vader is trying to invade a ship?
I didn't see the side by side, but I would imagine.
I'll send it. I'll send it to you.
Okay,
It's exactly the same choreography,
really?
and I think that's a reference to the father son thing. But the thing, and this is the thing that pissed me off about comments though, is that they were missing the point that they were trying to make a connection that they're both Skywalkers.
Hmm.
People were like, "Oh, except Darth Vader was doing it to destroy and kill people, and he's evil. Luke
No,
was doing it to save people." I'm like, it doesn't matter the purpose. The point is that the technique.
yeah,
Like
yeah, that's
nobody's
true.
saying that Luke is evil or anything like that, or that Darth Vader is good. It's just the technique.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, dude, that I was like, holy crap, that was so worth season two. Like right there, I was already happy with season two, but that peaked it.
Uh, that's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand. They're probably not like hardcore Star Wars fans like we are. Like Luke even said it. It's a saying that always pops up here and there. Like who has it? He has it. His father has it. The Force lives inside of him because all of the all of the Jedi's kind of have this Force sensitive thing that combines them
Like,
together as one now.
yeah, like
Um,
that heritage,
yeah, that
Force
heritage.
heritage in
Yeah,
it.
because eventually it just fuels whoever's left as a Jedi. Um,
Yeah,
and like of course they have that same sense of, yeah, it just makes sense that way. Like, so for
yeah,
other people to say otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. So you're absolutely correct with what you just said. Um,
yeah.
hmm
So I sent you the video, so you can
hmm
check it out while I set up the next part. So Luke reveals himself, and it's Mark Hamill actually doing the acting. I think they probably de-aged him or did some sort of like face swap, but that was Mark Hamill making an appearance. And Mark Hamill has come out and said it's amazing that they managed to keep this a secret, for over a year, um, almost a year, and dude, it was just such an awesome reveal. Um, so we see Grogu saying bye to Mando, and this is another a point of controversy. Mando takes off his helmet to say bye to Grogu. I loved it because we all know how seriously Mando takes his a vow to never take off his helmet.
hmm
Well, we know how much it means to him. He's almost died and still kept the damn helmet on.
hmm
Uh, but for Grogu, who has been his kind of adopted son, he did it because Grogu wanted to see his face one last time before he left. Uh, I wanted to know as a father how much this hit you or what your thoughts were on this.
Oh man, it's pretty intense. I was watching it with Julie's siblings here, and
Uh,
yeah, I tried to hold it in as much as I could. Every
so
tear would just went
so
back
so
in.
yesterday, my friend Juliet, she messaged me. She goes, "Ugh, it's so stupid he took his helmet." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, what about the code? What about this?" I'm like, "He did it for Grogu." Yeah, I still think it's stupid. He should have kept it on. Like what it's total pen. I'm like, and I did the whole thing like the
This is the
Grogu
thing that she doesn't
is
understand is that code kind of doesn't really exist anymore because the whole
yeah,
clan thing is kind of like so old school. They're
old
way
way of
past
thinking.
that already. Even
Yeah,
on Mandalore, like those type of people
that
are kind of like considered as like outcasted. They're out there doing their own
well
thing.
Bo Katan kind of enforced that's not the common belief,
hmm hmm
and also I think working with Boba Fett, who is not Mandalorian by birth, but he is a strip Mandalorian, is still a warrior. Is still a
hmm
badass warrior. So like
hmm
worthy of any Mandalorian. So I think you're right. I think Mando has kind of tweaked his way of thinking, but also even assuming that this is still a big deal to him to take off his helmet, he would only do it for it makes it more meaningful that he did it for Grogu.
hmm
Um, so yeah, I mean, Grogu leaves with Luke, which really concerning about. Hopefully, Grogu escapes another slaughter coming in a couple of decades. Uh, yeah, that's the concern. Like, okay, cool, it's Luke. Oh shit, it's Luke.
Yeah, so that's true. But I can see. Okay, so after watching all this, yeah, very emotional moment for that. Um, Kind of interesting to see what's going to happen next, according to that. But I can see like if they did do it like a Grogu spin-off, they can do like an animated series,
Hmm.
and probably have Luke train Grogu, and
Yeah.
Grogu's like having his own adventures. Yeah, I'll totally be down to watch something like that. I think Grogu still kind of appeals to the younger kids. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Baby Yoda or Grogu has such
I
a big impact, over the year. So I wouldn't be
so
surprised to see a Disney XD or whatever show.
yeah, I want to say that I think Grogu is going to be not a permanent student for Luke,
Mm-hmm.
mostly because nobody wants Grogu to be around when Ben Solo goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also because how do I put it, uh, they Luke can't be a recurring character in Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I think it takes away from the specialness of the moment. But if he was, I'm hoping that Sebastian Stan does step in and
Mm-hmm.
make an appearance again, make an appearance as Luke,
Mm-hmm.
or Grogu gets kind of returned to Mando in the future, or gets handed off to another Jedi for further training or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but either way though, the appearance of Luke is just it's something that I was not expecting in the series.
Yeah, I think what would be crazy is if the new Star Wars series is based off of characters like Grogu, like a much older version of Grogu that is kind of like in the prime of
A teenage Grogu,
yeah, teenage Grogu. That would be very interesting to see.
Grogu's first crush.
Mhm.
No, but I can see Grogu appearing as a side character in other
Mhm.
things. If we do see another Jedi, story in the Star, because they're trying to stay away from another trilogy
Mhm.
setup. They really want standalone movies,
Mhm.
but similar to how Ahsoka, was original from Clone Wars, but appeared in Rebels
Mhm.
as herself, but a slightly older version for a short time.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see that, or like Bo-Katan in Rebels that had later appeared in The Mandalorian.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Uh, Anything else for episode 7 and 8 or episode 8?
Nope. I'm just excited to see what's going to happen in the future. There's so much promise here. I mean, so much fan service has been delivered within this series alone.
Yeah.
With Boba Fett being a standalone series, that's something that people have been asking for so long. We had a bounty hunter game, but
Well,
that.
so people are saying that they think that Disney made the right choice by canceling, because originally Boba Fett was going to be a movie,
Mhm.
and then they canceled it.
Same thing with Obi-Wan too.
Yeah,
They were going
exactly.
to do that as a movie, but makes
And I
more
think
sense
I
as
think
a.
Disney seeing the benefit in telling the story in the show, and also not only is it feeding their platform, but it's also a better a storytelling mechanism for some of these stories that we want more of. We don't want trilogies, we want episodes.
Yeah.
All right. And actually, did you see the video I sent you?
Yeah, I did. Pretty awesome.
Right. Nice little
Very
like,
very similar fight style.
yeah, like very nice little Easter egg they threw in there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
All right, Anton. This is so long episode, but it's the last episode of the season for a while.
mm-hmm.
So, let's finish strong here. Let's go to games.
All right, games.
All right, really quick Among Us news. So Among Us has been a really popular mobile game. It was announced last week that it is available on the Nintendo Switch for $5, and I think I just heard the other day that it is now going to be available I don't know if it is now, but it will be available on Xbox. So they're really expanding out. Then I'm hopefully that adds more players. I
It
want them
just
to stabilize the.
I want it on the Mac because I mean it started on PC on Steam.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
I just want them to stabilize the game, because even though it's the charm of the game is it's so simple and straightforward, I feel the servers are not stable.
Yeah,
It's still very
that's the thing
janky.
that they kind of addressed when they said that they wanted to, instead of making a sequel, they wanted to focus on the first game itself, making
Yeah,
it better. Yeah.
yeah. All right, Tom. Next up is Star Wars Squadrons. So we mentioned it earlier that I bought this game
Mhm.
shortly after finishing Rebels because I wanted to immerse myself more in the Star Wars universe and to try my hand at a Star Wars game. So Star Wars Squadron is the game where you switch between being a Rebel pilot and being an Empire pilot, Empire, yeah, Empire pilot, to complete missions, and it's kind of like a back and forth as you're going through the campaign. Um, I barely dipped into the campaign. I just, did the first mission or two and then went to multiplayer to really test my skill and see how it is. Because besides never playing a Star Wars game, I've also haven't played a flight simulator since like Xbox 360 with Ace Combat.
Yeah, Ace Combat is a really good game.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This blows Ace Combat out of the water, dude.
Oh
This
wow,
is
that's a lot to
it is
say. Ace Combat
it
is
is
a
it
very highly anticipated game for years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's highly praised. That even when Xbox One came out, the Ace Combat was still highly praised for
Hmm.
360.
Hmm.
It's so much customization you can do to your ship besides just skins, which there is some skin variability there. Even for like an X-wing, you can get the Dagobah, like swamp veins and stuff like that,
Hmm.
um, vines. But also you can customize your character very well, which like okay, cool. You can add little interior decorations. You can have a little like not fuzzy dice, but little charms to your cockpit.
Yeah.
But customize your weapons. That is something that you see like in Ace Combat. But you also get to customize the how to put it the engine. The engine is a big part you get to customize, and the one thing you want to really master in this game is your energy usage. Think of it as your ship has one battery, and you really have to either balance out between your shields, engines, or shields, acceleration, and weapons,
Hmm.
or prioritize one over the other. And it is so fun, but it is so frustrating where I'm like, okay, energy to I'm diverting all energy to weapons, and then somebody gets on my ass, and I'm trying to accelerate out of there, and I'm like, this is my top speed. Oh crap. uh it's so fun, dude. It's such a like little detail. Um and one thing I want to give them credit to is they know how to get your heartbeat racing because there are repair droids you can attach to your ship. That
Hmm.
is like one of the perks.
Hmm.
Um, if you can take damage, you can deploy the repair droid, and it'll fix up your ship a bit. Even though that it's fixing the health of your ship, your windshield is still damaged. Your cockpit might still be smoking. It's something that like the more damage you take, no matter how much you repair it, and you start getting shot at, it really makes you nervous.
Wow. So, because I mean, you watching so many Star Wars stuff in the past, especially with Tie fighters and X wings
Yeah.
and Y wings, whatever. Um, yeah, you see a lot of damage, and
Yeah.
you can imagine like there's so many pilots being expended, and
Hmm.
you being put into the middle of it, you feel the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, dude, and the fact that it's zero gravity, uh, it takes some getting used to.
Hmm.
You know me, I'm more used to first person shooters, or I mean, I guess um, Overwatch is in first person shooter still, but having to work in three dimensions, it takes some getting used to. And I finally got the routine down. I'm not thinking about the controls as much. I'm just
Hmm.
going with the flow and actually flying. My brother came over yesterday and watched me fly, and I apologized. I'm like, just to let you know, I don't know why I'm not getting motion sickness. So I don't blame you if you get motion sickness watching my screen. Because
Yeah.
it's a lot of twisting, turning, things flying across my screen.
Yeah, you're
Uh,
flying Z axis and X
yeah,
axis and Y axis, so it's a lot of movement going
yeah,
around. Yeah.
yeah, different shooting stuff like that. Um, I was gonna say, oh, there's so of course there's dogfights, which is kind of I guess uh deathmatch, but with
Hmm.
being a first person shooter. For your more strategic one, there is something called fleet battles, and it is pretty much a rebel team versus an imperial team. Rebels have their Star Destroyer. Rebels have their main home ship, or whatever, I don't know what they called it. And then each side has two freighters, like these two like gunships.
Mm-hmm.
And this starts off with both sides start off equal, and both sides also deploy this little like I guess like a mini gunship, a smaller ship. Think it's similar to the ship that Princess Leia had in A New Hope in that initial scene. Like that size ship that they go off shooting each other. Both sides are trying to eliminate, and whoever wins that initial like match, the game shifts. So if I'm the rebels and we win that initial fight, the fight shifts closer to us attacking the Empire's gunships.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of like a tug of war. It's back and forth. Like if the Empire manages to fight to kill us off and to defend their ships, then all of a sudden they deploy a gunship and then they're attacking our gunships, and it's a back and forth. It's kind of like a mixture of territories and King of the Hill kind of thing.
Wow, but on a bigger scale. How many players in a multiplayer match that you've tried?
5 each.
Five
but
each.
one thing that I like too is that they also deploy AI ships. Really, they do nothing except just add to the chaos of the combat.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like me trying to take out an enemy TIE fighter and then a squadron of other TIE fighters just freaking bump me mid flight. And yeah, their flight, the AI is like trash for flying, so they're easy to take out. They have like almost no health, but they're just more annoyance. But it's still fun. I need to knock out the campaign still. I really just want to get into the multiplayer. But I'm hooked. I really thought I was gonna regret this purchase, but I'm so into this. I wish I had a PlayStation with the VR headset, so I can do it that way.
Oh man, is this game in VR on
PlayStation? Yeah, the PlayStation version does have is VR enabled.
I'm curious if Oculus has it.
I wouldn't doubt it they did, or at least have a connection to it. But yeah, that's Star Wars Squadrons.
Cool.
All right, Anton. If people want to keep our squadron going, how can I do that?
They can go to our website at www.the2oc.com and maybe go to our shop and buy a sticker, t-shirt, or maybe a hat. And it gives us a little kickback if there is something bought or purchased from Amazon from any of our links on social media or maybe on our show notes. So it's always a good thing to give us some kickback on there. But look forward to next year. We're going to have a new store with a lot more stuff. A little teaser here. There's just a bigger selection. Maybe you can get a 2OC mug. I don't know. But we'll see next year.
Yep. You can also follow us on social media at the 2OC on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Check out the latest posts for any news we come out while we're off, or just funny memes we find. And also, if you see any links for products that we list, it's a good way to support us because you get an awesome discount on a product that you've already wanted to buy, and no additional cost that supports us.
Okay, and today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/the2oc. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from, and you can use it on your iPhone, Android, or any other thing that has Audible on there. Okay, so it looks like I have a credit that's expiring in 12 days. I need to use it for something. But Obama's book recently came out. I'm looking forward to reading that in Audible. I was going to buy it, but I was like, I'm just going to Audible it. And I think he reads the whole thing. Let me see here. Yep, narrated by Barack Obama himself. So kind of excited to see all of the things that he went through.
So, I mean, since we talked about Star Wars too, Star Wars: The High Republic, that's on Audible starting on January 5th. Also, the book I sent you, it has an audio version from a certain point of view, Star Wars. 15 hours of content. So I thought this was gonna be a short book, but apparently it's gonna be a long ass book. Good luck with that one, Anton.
Yeah. So the thing is that I started reading a little bit of it, and damn, it's so crazy because like I don't know where to start because while I'm reading, after I'm done reading with whatever is on the page, I'm like, do I read the notes that are on the side of the pages or do I read the whole part itself? Because like it's two things happening at the same time, you know, like they're like two people are talking to each other. Like there's one person talking and then the other person's replying, but sometimes they don't even talk about what's on the page.
Oh, wait. You're talking about the one I sent you S. Yeah. No. Originally I was talking about the one I sent you from a certain point of view.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
The one I sent for Christmas.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what's that? Yeah. Reference. Was it last episode?
Mm-hmm.
I think last episode. Dang, it was like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah, 3 episodes ago.
For your birthday.
It was my birthday. Yeah.
Yeah. With J.J. Abrams' book S. And okay, so I think that's it. I'm trying to think if there's any other recommendations. Oh, and we also talked about The Witcher, The Last Wish. So that's another recommendation there for Audible.
Okay, so when are you going to be watching the series itself? After you read the books?
After I finish the book, I'm going to talk to Martha, see if she wants to read the book. She's also not into fantasy, but I showed her like some of the snippets from the book, and I'm kind of curious to see if she would even be interested. So maybe if she's not interested, we'll just start the show.
Okay.
And we'll see how we'll go from there. Because they're already working on season 2, right?
Yeah, but they're at a halt right now because Superman himself is injured. So I think he's at home playing video games.
He's building PCs. He upgraded the PC he built during the summer. He upgraded it again.
Yeah, he upgraded to 3080.
Yeah.
RTX.
He's such a freaking nerd.
Yeah, but I mean, he has nothing else to do. He's trying to recover from his injury. So.
Sure, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's on. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
For the 2OC, I'm Al Flores.
And I'm Anton Duong. See you guys.
Happy holidays, guys.